Is not too good. We're live, Don.
Hey, it's good to be alive.
It's good to be alive. What do you have to say out there?
I think it's a beautiful day, and I think it's only getting better with the success we're starting to experience with LinkedIn and more specifically LinkTank, and that's what we're here for today. And Tuesdays, Fridays, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And, me and Mike have been really putting our heads together. And naturally, our first instinct is to get you the best takeaway you can have and apply right after the link tank if you choose to, and get some results, and maybe we could build some credibility with you. And with that said, there's no better result one can achieve than revenue, sales, ultimate goal line. We see a lot of people doing a lot of stuff and never finishing, and they go back to doing a lot more stuff, and they got piles of stuff. And what we're looking to do is really understand why you're here. And if you're here for sales, then you should generate sales, right? If you're here for thought leadership, that's a different program. But today it's sales. And, at a certain point, you got to justify your time, you got to justify your investment. And why wait, right? When you can get right to the finish line. And how do you do that? Well, if you're really good and you work every day like me and Mike do, you could probably get there. If you're got a full-time job or are preoccupied, then working with a group that are already there and expanding their lead would be a natural. So with that, Mike's a genius when it comes to sales. There's nobody better in the business, especially in LinkedIn sales and generating revenues. And, if it were just Mike, that would be far over serving. When you add Mike and me together, and that's part of our membership plan, which we'll, I'm sure, get into, 1 hour a week, plus Mike's vast library of successful, proven, working every day today strategies, not the ones people put together when LinkedIn was a classified ad channel, is fundamental. So anyways, I can't stop talking about it because I'm so big on it. But today, let's get you something that you can leave here with, take to the
Yes.
marketplace, and come home with a win. Mike?
Yes. Yep. Don, that's a great introduction. And we are officially have our buy button today on our sales page. So everyone can, we're going to give the link. Everyone can go and join us on LinkTank coaching and the membership program. And Don said it's once a week and it's on Fridays, Don, and it's 1 hour. And then there's a $10,000 library of recordings and courses and cheat sheets and documents and scripts and proven strategies and tactics that are just going to be handed to you as well. And a 30-day money back guarantee. And it's going to be this outrageous deal instead of a $1,297 a month. It's $47 a month. And we're going to credit your account $25 a month that each month you pay to be used towards future courses or coaching or the Done For You program. So, with that being said, Don and I, we are going to be directing you to a sales page. It's got Don and I with a video. It's got all the information you could possibly want. And we want to see you in the program with us. The objective of the program, as Don said, and the objective of what we're doing is helping people on LinkedIn become thought leaders so that that's crucial, key, so that you can make sales. Now, we do have clients that just want to be thought leaders and stay relevant, and that's cool too. But Don and I are sales people at heart. We love sales. We're naturally born salesmen, even though there's better salesmen than us. It doesn't mean you have to be the best salesman. It means that you need to be excited and motivated for whatever product you believe in. And it's your obligation. It's your obligation because you're so excited and passionate about the product to be able to present it in a way that other people are excited to receive the invitation to buy it from you. Boom. With that being said, because Don and I are working with a lot of people. We're almost 70 people in the Done For You program, and 100 people plus have come through the program. And we do have people that are challenged. And I just got off a 1 hour session and with a great client, great guy with a huge heart that was literally kind of calling in to say, I want to put the program on pause. So I spent time with him, and I'll give you the story in a nutshell, Don, and then you can kind of break down, you know, what you see because you're intimately involved in the program with our customers, spending time with our customers. So the gentleman is in the financial planning arena. His dad, his brother, his son, his nephew, all in the military, and is passionate about helping military vets with all of his acumen that he's been able to accumulate with financial training. So his core business, he's not looking for veterinarians. He's not looking for veterans to be part of the financial planning. He wants to speak and educate. So it wasn't working for him. So I broke it down and I said, well, why do you want to speak and educate? And this is interesting. This is something that I think everyone can take away a little bit. The if you want to be a speaker, then it's fine. Get booked, make a little money, but realize that you're not really making an impact in the world. And the reason why is in 1 hour, if you're a keynote speaker and you give a few good points, the vast majority of people, like 99.9% of them, are not going to do shit from your good points. And the person who hammers this home the best is Gary Vaynerchuk, because he gives his best stuff every week amongst the biggest and most successful crowds in the world. And people say, why do you give it? Your best stuff you're working on yesterday, today. And he said, because 1,000 people in that room, 10 will take action and 990 won't. I don't have anything to worry about. So from this gentleman's perspective, his thing to give back, his way to give back was to speak. Because he thought, okay, people want to be speakers. But I said to him, is it your intent to be known as a speaker is an ego thing, or do you want to make an impact? And I said, I want to make an impact because he knows how desperate a lot of veterans are, not only with health and PSD and mental illness, but financial stuff. Wants to make an impact. So this is what we call with online, any type of education, it's called backward course design, meaning that you start with the end first and try to understand, okay, if I'm going to commit some time to working with somebody, then the first thing I need to do is figure out what is the outcome I want for them. That makes sense, Don?
Oh, perfect.
What is the outcome I want for them? And then from there, you can figure out what do I need to do to help them get that outcome. So I posed a question. He's got a book. It's 6 chapters that are laid out strategically. And I said to him, do you want to make an impact or do you want to make some money speaking? Because you won't make an impact speaking, but you have an ability to make an impact. You have a book that makes impact, but you have an ability to make a bigger impact. He said impact. I said, great. Then what do you call it when you got your back in the military? I asked him. He's like, I got your 6. So that means in the military, I've got your back. Someone's watching out for you. Someone's making sure you're not getting ambushed from behind. Someone's making sure you win. You got your 6. He's got 6 chapters in his book. I said, you got your 6 financial package. And your 6 is you're looking out for these vets and you're helping them understand really where we are in the financial markets. Now, my background's Wall Street. I think we're in for a disaster in the stock market and the rest of the markets and the real estate market. Fed's raising by another 3/4 points, and all the digital currency and assets will continue to go down. We haven't seen bloodshed in the streets. There isn't a correction without massive blood. So there is no blood. There's no one jumping out of proverbial windows. During crashes, that's what happens. We don't see revealing these crazy Ponzi schemes of people or the thieves, in a sinking tide, the scum gets exposed. It's not happening yet. So he's got amazing timing to try to help, the veterinarians who were all down 20 and 30% in the stock markets and financial markets that need help now. So why not do a 6-week training program, 6 weeks, once a week, 60 minutes, training and Q&A, and sell a program. So sell is one of the words we're going to focus on, Don, but let me just share with him. I told him it's going to take him the same amount of time to sell his way into a company to speak for 60 minutes than for him to sell his way into a company to present a 6-part training. It's the same amount of time. And I said, you have to start out modestly, because if you do 6 hours and you say $400 an hour, that's not bad. Although my attorney from my hedge fund just told me he wants to charge me $700 an hour. It's crazy, some crazy shit. $400 an hour is pretty good. So 6 times 4 is $2,400. If this organization or this company has 100 vets or association, you can't convince them to spend $24 on each vet. Now, here's the thing. You can feed into the greed of the association, the business owner. They might not care so much about their employees, but for $24, someone with a good mindset is going to be a lot more productive in their business, missing less days, not being sick. So that's a pretty easy sale. But here's the key. We're talking, today's entire thing is about sales, Don, right? Mm-hmm. The key is, and I tell this with everyone, the fastest way to money is on LinkedIn. And you don't need any funnels, and you don't need any websites, and you don't need any landing pages. You don't need any of that crap. You need to produce great content, get seen by people, and then you need to do what everyone's been doing since the invention of a caveman. If you had some goods in this part of the woods and they didn't have those goods, you trucked your ass across the woods as a caveman with your shit, and you knocked on the other caveman's doors and you say, I got this. Do you want to buy this? Pretty simple. So on LinkedIn, you position yourself as a thought leader. You teach online. You get visibility. You establish yourself with credibility, which LinkedIn's going to broadcast you around the world. And then you do the same thing that the caveman did. Is you, in a non-salesy way, reach out to people that you know could possibly need your service. And then you just basically say, hey, here's a little PDF. It's 6 little snippets from my 6-part book. But I'm passionate about vets. I want to help change vets' lives and help your company at the same time. Let me send that to you. And you follow up 2 days later and you say, by the way, I'd love to just jump on a Zoom. I'll take you through the framework and let me see if you're in line with what I can offer your people. It's at a fraction of the cost of what the return you're going to get, and they're going to change. It's going to change their lives. Can we jump on a Zoom? So he's like, wow, like I have a battle plan. Because he does things with the military. Battle plan. I was like, yeah, that's a battle plan. Mm-hmm. But to you and I, this is like, this is second. Like you and I can sit with anyone and just sort of understand ideal customer, what's the outcome when they want to create, what capabilities do you have, and we can weave together the battle plan. But it's shocking to me that it's so difficult for people to see to really develop their own battle plan.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, well, I think that,
about this. So yeah, jump in here and give your perspective on this.
Yeah, well, I think you touched on some major points that are hugely valuable. A few things are, I've been working like I'm working now for 40 years, right? Just as hard, just as involved. Everything I got involved with was ahead of, the internet, specialty retailing, you name it. And when I saw LinkedIn, I saw huge opportunity with no risk. There's no product, there's no warehousing, there's no distribution, there's no rental fees. You only pay for what you use your time for. And the key is everybody wants shortcuts, and what there aren't any. We had to pay our dues. I've been posting, commenting, doing that every day for almost 30 months. But there are some long cuts, and long cuts are from people that didn't take shortcuts to learn what they are and then pass them on to somebody as a roadmap. So it's not a cut, it's a map. And actually I've got a product in my on my website that is Game Plan 1 and Game Plan 2. You know what me and Mike have been discussing, there's so many good people, so many smart, talented, accomplished people. And when they go to LinkedIn, they become dumb overnight. You know what I mean? Because they want to take their same suitcase that landed in the real world and move it to the virtual world. And where the real value is they're making the mistake that they're not dealing with people, they're dealing with communities, populations, right? To Mike's point, you do a speech. Great, it's 100 people. You could get 10,000 people on a LinkedIn Live if you did it right and do it every hour, never travel, never have to book. You know, a lot of people are doing push marketing, right? They're putting stuff out there hoping to get something back instead of pull marketing, right? To invite people to their stuff. You know, I do a poll every day. I did a poll because we're launching this wonderful program. Would you like to be brought up to date on the latest details to this new program? And I used every word and said what it is guaranteed to succeed, right? Huge value. I got over 50 some, 48 were yes. Okay, put a poll out every day, get 45. I want to know more about what you do. You know what you got to do the next day? Send them an email. That's it. They're already said I want it. Now, how many do you want to close? I don't know. 10 a day? That's 300 a month. Do the numbers. And now apply that to what you're doing. Do you have a propensity to close 300 sales a month by doing a poll every day on LinkedIn the right way? To know how to respond the right way? See, where Mike and me can fill in is the right way. You're still going to do the same work, maybe less, but you're going to get better results and they're going to be measured in sales. And if you can measure your sales today against what you do every day, it never hurts to take inventory of how much time you're putting in and what you're getting back and say, would I do this for someone else? Or on the other side of the coin, would someone pay me to do this and get these results? Right? If you're selling for somebody, they're going to say, hey, what's your numbers? They don't want to care how much you're learning. They don't care how many nice people you're meeting, how much trust you're building. It's like, hey, show me the money. And me and Mike have seen it. We've seen it with the best people. We've seen it with some of the worst people. It's universal. Knowledge is power, but application wins the day. And we're into launch. Don't think about it. Don't fear it. Just do it, because eventually you do enough of it, you become what it is, right? And these programs and what we learned, it's high tech with high touch. Mike's got all the knowledge, got all the programs, and I like come in and kind of do the center stuff after a couple of weeks or something and say, hey, where are you, right? And now what can we do to get you in alignment? You know, it's like finally tightening all the screws. When you got everything aligned, you tighten it up and they're directed and they do simple things consistently with intensity. And don't be afraid to ask for the sale. Why make the person wait? Why make the person ask you? And in some cases, why ask the person to close themselves for you? You know, it's just do a flip-flop and boom, it's done. Simple. So anyways, we couldn't be more excited by the pro. We put 3 months into this. When we finally priced it, I had to close my eyes, you know, and bite my tongue, because I thought maybe people won't believe it's so valuable if it's only $47 a month. You know, maybe when they see how much $12,000 and you know, here's what you owe it yourself. Look at it. Don't have to do it. Just look at it. Size it up. When you see it, and hey, if you want, go to Cloud Selling and go into more detail if you need context. And with a guaranteed money back, no questions asked for the, you know, I don't want to go into the program. The point is, and if you're doing better than this, or you know of a place that offers more than this, me and Mike will join sight unseen. Right, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. I will join sight unseen because I've spent in the last decade probably $750,000 on my own education in mastermind programs. I'm in, 2 mastermind programs that are 20 grand a year. So why am I in those programs? Because I want to succeed faster and better, make less mistakes, and build an outrageous network. Right? How can you do that by yourself in a vacuum? You can't. So everything that Don's saying we do, everything that you're going to learn is exactly what we're doing daily. We have a program, my LinkedIn Cloud Selling program has almost 70 people we're running. And so far this year, we've generated in excess of 120 million views for the customers. Our big audacious goal is to generate 500 million views for our customers. 500 million views. That's outrageous. And a big portion of what we do is we focus on a full third is basically what we're talking about today, which is the sales part. The block and tackle of sales, and I'll just give my takeaway because we want everyone to have one takeaway. The block and tackle of sales is consistency and follow up. That's it. So you don't have to be great at sales. When the stock market, and I was 21 years old, at a high pitched voice. Half the time, the secretaries are like, "What's your name, ma'am?" And it used to piss me off. My last name is Weisberger. My cousin was my partner. His last name was Green. So every time they say leave a message, he said his name's Green. And then every time I said my name, they said, "How do you spell it?" I was losing, 2-1. I was losing on every message. So I cut my name down to Weiss. And you know what? There were people that had silver tongues. There were like some of my friends were just like every word that came out was always right. And you know what? Not for me. But I did control the one thing I can control, and I outworked everybody. And the first year I worked from 7 in the morning till 4, went to the downtown athletic club, which doesn't exist anymore. That's where they used to give the Heisman Trophy away, and played an hour and a half of basketball. And boy, did I suck at basketball because I was a lacrosse player. But anyway, played down there and came back and worked from like 6 to 8 or 9 o'clock. And I worked every Saturday for a year. Every Saturday for a year. So what I lacked in the silver tongue, I made up because I was just dogmatic and I knew my numbers. And I was like, if I can get 3 good leads a day and 10 new accounts a month, it's a virtual guarantee that in the start of the second year, I'll be making $125,000 to $200,000 a year. It's important to me. I was 22. By 23 or 24, by 25, my goal was by 27 or 28 to own a Porsche, and by 30 to be a millionaire. But it all happened in the first couple, 2, 3, 4 years. I wasn't the best, but I took the right actions, and I knew what it took to get a sale, and I just had to get into sales conversations. So the activities that you need to take on LinkedIn is you need to get into sales conversations. So you can do it one of 2 ways. You can do it the hard way and have a shitty profile and not produce any content and just basically cold call on LinkedIn, which is fine. You can do it the dumb way, which is to use LinkedIn automation and these softwares that potentially could risk your entire LinkedIn forever. Or you can do it the smart way and say, okay, I can do 100 a week or 20 a day. I'll research and create very small lists of the most ideal customers, and I'll spend a few minutes and investigate who each one is, and I'll just craft something nice and endearing, and then I'll just give something to them and ask them if I follow up, if we can jump on a quick Zoom. And then you can turbocharge the way by having a great LinkedIn profile and getting distributed globally by LinkedIn as a thought leader and get millions of views. So whoever then checks you out because you're reaching out is like, holy shit, I have the privilege of them reaching out to me to get on a call. The positioning is completely different and it's the most unfair advantage. Anyway, you can tell Don and I are fired up about this because this is it. So, Don, you want to leave a strategy or a tactic from one of your playbooks that they can take away and use right away?
Absolutely. Well, I I get enthralled when Mike talks. You should join our program just to hear him talk, even if you don't care what he's talking about. So just the entertainment value and the inspirational value because I think what Mike makes clear is if we can do it, you can do it. I'm in the same boat as Mike. The only thing that made up for lack of anything was, first of all, patience, perseverance, belief. You know, when I first, everything I did, I bootstrapped. My first business, I didn't take a paycheck for 2 years. Can you imagine hiring people, paying them complaining about what they're making, and they're all making more than you, and you can't say nothing, right? Because it's your deal, right? If it goes for you. If it doesn't, they're not part of it, right? So what I see about everything is it's about, you know, they say luck is when preparation meets opportunity. What we're offering is preparation. You know, Abraham Lincoln said if he had 5 hours to cut a tree, he'd spend 3 hours sharpening his axe. You know what I mean? And that's really making the investment in yourself. It's not the doing without having a sharp axe. You can cut it, you can hit a tree a million times if it's blunt, it ain't going anywhere, right? And if you sharpen your axe and do it efficiently, I mean, we're talking business here. We're not just talking sales. We're talking time, we're talking investment, and you know, that's what you put in. What you get out justifies it. You know, what we talk about is cost of not doing, right? You know, what could you have done, or could you have been more successful? And you know, in my experience, it was always other people that helped me get where I was. There was always people I learned from. You know, like Mike always says, go to Gary Vaynerchuk, and you know, I did some weekend nonstop Garys, right, where I watched for like 12 hours over a weekend, and it gets repetitive. I mean, the same theme is still in everything. Tells really cool stories. Came from the same kind of background I came from, kind of immigrant. You know, sell in business for yourself, small retail, and understood the value of real hard work early, the value of family. I mean, so those things are also intertwined in everything he does. I see a gentleman, Nathaniel Biddy, out in Australia that's really got great programming. And, you know, that's one thing me and Mike want to do is if we know something or know somebody, we don't mind sharing them. It's not just information, right? If we find a great teacher, a great book, a great audio, we want to get it out there, right? Because you know what happens? The more professional, the more successful people on LinkedIn become, the more valuable it is for everybody on LinkedIn, right? Because I think Mike's right. There's much better people in probably every category than we are, but not when you put it all together and you apply it and then you share it. So there's great people. How many people are giving anything away? How many people at a certain point you couldn't afford them even if you believed in them, right? So you'd rather be with the guys and gals who are like going to the top and needing help and wanting help, because the help you give us is feedback. If you go back to programs 2 months ago and see how we were and how we were discussing things and how far along we were, look at where we are now. Fast forward 90 more days, right? And, you know, I would say a good takeaway is everybody's done something that they were proud of, were very successful at, you know, could have been a pinnacle. What got you there? Are you applying those same things to LinkedIn? Right? Are you showing up every day? I mean, whatever made you great, it wasn't like you mailed it in and someone called you, right? You know, when you hit the pinnacle, it's because, you know, you look around, your family's proud, you're proud, it was all worth it, you know, and that's what makes it easy to do it again. Because you say, hey, if I did it then without knowing what I learned and was successful at, why not apply it again? And that goes for attitude. You know, they do say success is an attitude. When you got it, your words mean nothing, right? People feel it. They know it. It's a confidence that you can't just fake. And when you show you're going to be there, and that's what people want, everybody will sell them the beginning. Where are they at the middle and the end? And where are they when, and here's what's more important, where are they when a person's having difficulty? Right? And we feel an obligation and responsibility. If we bring you in, we want to see you come through the right way. It helps everybody. And that's why you buy a program. Yeah, try and get Tony Robbins on the phone in an hour, right? See how open his calendar is. We've got that capability. What you're going to gain that can't be priced is access. I don't turn down anybody from anywhere if they're respectful and they're deserving, right? And if they buy into anything I'm doing or Mike's doing, I'm there for them. It's like AAA. It's fire protection without paying for it. So I think that's really the takeaway. Figure out what you've done, what it got, what it took. If it took you 3 years to learn it, to do it, well, then give LinkedIn 5 years because it's 10 times the opportunity, maybe 100, right? I mean, we're not doing this because we're dumb. And I definitely wouldn't be doing it every day for 30 months if I didn't believe more. And it's coming to fruition because this new program, there's 810 million people on LinkedIn. 10,000 is a spit in the ocean, right? If we got 10,000 for a program that we're almost paying them. We're almost thinking about doing a deal where we'd fly in and wash your cars on weekends, but it didn't quite work out. So this is all we can give. So Mike, I think that leaves everybody with quite a charge, I hope,
Yep, it is. The link here takes you to the sales page. So this is the first time that Don and I are putting up in the public the sales page, and then it's self-explanatory. It's got quite a bit of detail. We always invite everyone to message us on LinkedIn. We're there. You got questions for Friday's show. It's Tuesday today. Tuesday and Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. We're always here. You want to join us? You got something you want to add to the community on live? Then send us an invitation and tell us what you want to add. We'll bring you on. It's abundant world. LinkedIn it's the very beginning. It's 800 million, as Don said, going to 2 billion. And they just keep adding almost daily more technological and support for us if you're in that creator mode. We say yes, we'll take the creator mode, we'll pair it with sales mentality. And as Don said, it's there's 10 lifetimes worth of business on LinkedIn for all of us. So we'll see you in the LinkTank program. You'll get us for an hour a week, once a week, every Friday, and then a ton of other stuff. And then, of course, you can always find us here, Tuesdays and Fridays, at 2 p.m.
You bet. And, first adopters and movers will get better access and direct access to us. So in the beginning, if we're doing an hour every Friday and we get 10, 12 to join in the next week, those 10 or 12 will be directly connected to us and communicating with us. And we'll even recognize you on the program and scroll your LinkedIn profile URL to promote you. So, we're giving it all we got. We're just asking you to give us a shot, take a look, put your toe in the water. If you like it, you're on your road to maybe huge success. If you don't, you got it for free. And you could at least say we got a chance to know you. So with that, have a wonderful week ahead. And please look at the link. Do yourself a favor. So take care, Mike. It's always great being on the show.
Yep, and we thank everyone for joining us. It's so deceiving. The people are here live as the tip of the iceberg, but we're almost getting 1,000 people in the replays between you and I, which is really awesome. And I just want to wish everyone happy selling for the week, and let us know if you made some sales this week. Send us a message, and we'll recognize you on Friday's show. All right.
Sounds great. Good luck and good selling.